Game 2 happening on Aquiline Wastes, with the Zerg players spawning to the bottom right of the map.
CJN2's effort.
And starting, of course, to the top left, the Protoss player for Team MVP.
MVP Billowy.
I love that pronunciation, that one.
Yeah, Billowy.
Well, you know, I actually looked up exactly the translation of a billow during game 1, because I was like, all I can think of is like sails billowing in the wind. It turns out a billow is some sort of spiraling smoke or air current. So that's what he is. He's some sort of spiraling smoke or air current. Or he's likened to one because he's billowy. He's likened to.
Did he ever reveal how he chose that?
No, and I'm actually scared to find out. This is again one of those builds where he walls at the top of his ramp, and you know, the only thing that this is weak against is like a roach push where your wall is exposed or something like that. We don't really see that anymore ever. But it could also mean that he wants to do a tight wall and hide tech, like a Dark Shrine or something. Very rare, but it, you know, with Billowy, aka Lure, you guys remember him? He's known for doing stuff like that.
You know, with the name, there's actually a German comedian that makes a joke about like stock market analysts and says like, you know, there are these competitions sometimes also at school where you go for your portfolio and you think about what kind of stocks you want to put in, and then at the end of like a few months or a year, you compare them. And he says, and apparently it's true, I don't know, I never checked, that they make like a counter check against this. Like they put an ape there, and they have the lists with all the stocks at the wall, and the ape throws darts at the wall, and apparently the ape like several years in a row just won. So I could see Billowy just standing there in front of a wall with a dart and going for like, okay, my no name is gonna be BAM! And just
hits a dictionary page, and that's what he goes for.
Yeah, maybe he goes for the page first, you know, or for the letter, and then makes his way from there. So it's an entire process that he has set up, and at the end of the day, Lure becomes Billowy.
Yeah, that's, you know, maybe I'm underestimating. Maybe I'm just thinking, well, that's really silly. Nobody told him what that really meant. But actually, he had like a 2-week process where he was studying the letters, he was throwing random darts, and he was like using the Ouija board.
Or maybe it has a deeper meaning.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, everyone thinks he's like a air current. Like he's like just gonna float up to the sky and make kites fly and stuff. I don't know.
Lings are trying to float into the main base, but that did not quite happen. We had him starting off with a pool 14. Has the gas now as well, but this is not the timing that Roro, for example, used. He's trying to be a bit annoying with the Zerglings, but it's nowhere near the really rushed speed and the Zergling aggression that we had by Roro on this map. The Nexus is going to finish, and then the Mothership Core is going to be key in the defense. Can always use the Photon Overcharge to just throw Zergling and attacks back. So Link's just trying to do the best that he can. Cancel the pylon, try to go into the main base, get the scouting information, but the sentry in the nick of time pops out of the gate.
The sentry like looked like it was shaking its head left and right saying no, stopping those out. Stargate here now unscouted as a result. Had he been a little more patient with his links, he might have been able to see that.
He's probably going to double check a little bit later with one of
definitely will
to find out what's going on here. But we have the third base started, speed halfway completed. Third base here a little bit later, not unusual against the opening that we see here from Billowy. An effort goes into 10 additional links. And that's going to be... You know, if he would have scouted the Stargate, I don't think he would have committed to this. Maybe he tries to break through here, but I do not think that this should succeed. We see it occasionally that it actually happens, that the links get in and then it does a lot of damage, but it's always a little bit gambly. But with 3 bases and the Roach War now coming up, I mean, he has the option to be aggressive. We saw Stork use, sorry, not Stork, but of course Roro used that in game number 2. Very different map, but still is the style that occasionally comes into play.
Yeah, just one sentry here is not enough.
Yeah, he does not have anything else. It's only the sentry. And the Mothership Core, you know, actually, the Mothership Core with the Photon Overcharge might not be able to help out here either, because that range, the pylon to the right side, is going to be very much exposed. He needs at least another sentry.
Looks like Effort's not going to commit. Which is... I mean, he doesn't know what's on the other side. Well, the Overlord looked the Phoenix in the eye before he died. He's like, alright, I'm out of here.
There are Lings again, going against that wall.
He's going for it. And
he might actually takes down the sentry. Sentry is outside. I'm not quite sure how that happened. but the sentry is outside the force field and goes down, so that was already worth it.
Probably just a misplace on the force field.
Yeah, probably.
Gateway making a tight wall. And he's actually poking up again. He will get through. He will actually kill the pylon and get through. And he'll be able to scout a little bit with this. Oh!
Gateway.
Barely.
Just. And he saves it. But this is just such a nice aggression by Effort. It does a lot more than it might have if there would have been a second unit. That was not the case. Both of them, by the way, supply block at this point in time.
Yeah.
But he pressures Billowy a lot, and that also allows him to just play his own style here. Drone up now, as is. Worker supply in favor of his opponent, actually, but the third mineral line is giving him, or will give him, the edge in income soon.
The Phoenix is coming down here to the south.
But the roaches are actually completely uncontested if you look at what he has in the game. He has Warp Gate research.
Yeah. He does have
research
that.
is done, so that's already important. But here come the roaches, and let's see what they can snipe. There are a lot of them.
He's going for the pylon first, and with no sentries here, and
He's
no power
in.
for the gateway, he goes in.
And the Mothership Core is far away.
I think he could actually get the robo here.
Yeah, and he's trying. He's going for the robo. He will snipe the robo. The tech is gone. I mean, now there's a photon overcharge, but he does not care. The robotics will not survive. And now he's just moving. Zerglings are there.
He unpowers all the gateways at the front.
Oh my god, the gateways unpowered.
He's actually going to target the Nexus. I don't think he can get that. I don't think he can actually get the Nexus.
But he forces the probes to attack and defend, and now he can take a ton of those probes down.
Yeah. So much damage being done here. More links streaming in.
The links just don't stop. The sentry is gone. So much damage done. The links moving in again, going for the Nexus once more. GG. Billowy with a fast game to quits. Effort takes it 2-0 and advances to the second round of the Challenger League.
Effort, he looks very happy with himself. Like, he's very humbly happy, you know, just sitting in the booth there, like, well, that's that. At least I'm not going to have to go to qualifiers like you, Lord.
That was faster than expected. Very greedy opening, only a single sentry, nothing else.
Well, that was a pretty straightforward series. So as we saw earlier, Effort will now face Bomber, and the winner of Yoda versus True, he will face the winner of that will face
Effort. You know, I don't think that Effort really from the beginning was planning on doing exactly this. But he saw how much he could do with the first 10 Zerglings, and he already had the base, so he had the option to diverse it. Of course, he has like several strategies that he can branch into. But when he saw how much damage he was doing with the Zerglings alone, and how the wall was suddenly set up, he was like, well, that wall is not going to withstand anything if I throw myself against it. And there was only one sentry, and he took it out. Then the sentry is rebuilt, but that's it.
Yeah, in this series, he really was just the wall breaker. Killing the Cybernetics core in Game 1, Game 2, breaking open the wall. And take a look at our final results today, refresh you guys on who is advancing.
We have things starting off with a victory for Roro against Classic. Hydra, a second Zerg player, also making it into the second round. Then with Yoda, a 2-1 against the Protoss player Stork for Samsung Galaxy. We had a Terran player advance. And the third Zerg player of the day, also able to be victorious against Protoss. Good day for Zerg in ZVP. We had a lot of Protoss players actually going down against Zerg in the last 2 days.
Yeah, and who's left in the Challenger League here is actually pretty well distributed with Zerg with a slight edge, you know, 12, but 12 versus 10, it doesn't get much closer than that.
Yeah, thanks to the day, 3 Zerg players advancing. Before that was kind of the reign of the Protoss. But now things are actually looking very well balanced here. I can't wait for the next days.
Yeah, we've had a lot of Protosses this season. None of them advancing today, on the other hand, despite having a Protoss in every matchup.
Yep. Really decent scenario. Good names as well. Like, really good roster that we have for the second round.
Yeah, it's going to be sick. I'm looking forward to finding out who's going to the Premier League, who's going to lose. And then, you know, the funny thing about it is, once you get past this round, no matter who wins, no matter who loses, you know, either they go to the Premier League or they get to go to that epic up and down match where we get to see all sorts of players in a group scenario, and it's awesome.
Up and downs are actually going to be great. I really want to wait for that. That's going to be really amazing. I love the group stage that we have there, the round robin, sometimes really refreshing. Yeah. But for now, for today at least, we are done with the series. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed the matches, and we're going to see you soon again. Have a great day. Bye-bye.